Satnam, Amar Vedya here from Casa Lily Retreats in Javier, Spain. Let's pull this full moon reading. We have a strawberry full moon. And the overall energy was the Knight of Cups. If you've been on my Instagram, it was the Knight of Cups. So this is the environmental energy, an energy of inspiration, of opening our hearts again. And it's totally understandable in the world we live in if you've closed your heart, if you've been thinking that, I need to just build more walls. There's a balance to everything, no? We need to know when to connect, allow connections to happen, and when to protect our heart. But the Knight of Cups is really asking you or inviting you to receive, to be open to receive. Yeah? So let's keep this in mind. And since it's the full moon energies always invite us to release what no longer serves us. So I'm going to continue with the Rider-Waite here. Let's just be direct. What is this full moon energy inviting you to release? Tapping into your spirit team, angels, spirit guides, gods and goddesses, and ancestors. Let's go. This is my new format sitting out here because I was thinking, why am I bunkering down inside all the time? If it's actually so beautiful out here in the summer. And Pancho's around. It's his happy hour, so he likes to chill. Chill for sunset. And let's see, what is it that you're invited? Wow. Literally jumped out. We're sticking with the cups. The Four of Cups. So the tarot, the cards are not direct. This is where our intuition comes in and our experience comes in. The cards are a medium. So looking at this Four of Cups, you see here somebody, you, sitting under a tree, and you're being handed these cups. Yeah? And we spoke about seizing opportunities, receiving, being open to perceiving opportunities and allowing yourself to actually seize them also. That's exactly what it goes hand in hand with the Knight of Cups, no? Talking about opportunities. So you're sitting here under a tree. In order to perceive opportunities, you gotta slow down. And I know we're being bombarded with so much information. We're overstimulated. We're like a hamster on a wheel. And sometimes we think, I gotta do more to achieve more, but that's the old paradigm. There's this new energy here that can reach you only if you slow down. So are you creating enough spaciousness to actually slow down and perceive those opportunities? Our question was, no, what are you invited to release? You are asked, invited, encouraged to release that resistance. And resistance can show up in rushing, in our tunnel vision, where we stick to our linear time frame, where we think in order to get or manifest this and that, A, B, C, D, E needs to happen. But the quantum leap is coming from a different energy. You're invited to come from a different energy. So rest and receive. Slow down and actually allow the universe to bring in the 50%. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to figure things out. I'm laughing because that's what when I'm not in the receiving mode, I switch into that paradigm where I gotta figure things out on my own. But actually the universe is inviting us to go with more ease, to flow with more ease, to take a break, to chill under a tree, and to allow life to move towards us. So release that resistance, release this need to figure it out with your mind alone without being connected to your intuition and your heart. And trust. Trust is a big thing. Trust that things are actually already on their way, knocking even at your door, but you might be rushing past them precisely because you're rushing. So allow the Knight of Cups to come in with his inspiration, with his cup of opportunity, and allow yourself to receive. There's a lot of shadow work that needs to be done here. I wouldn't say a lot, but there's some shadow work to be done here, no? With worthiness, changing our thinking, that, we're not disconnected from the universe. No, the universe is supporting you. You are supported. So releasing that limited thinking that since you're not supported, you got to figure things out. No, really embracing that belief that, hey, the universe actually has got my back. The universe wants to give me opportunities. The universe wants me to expand in a sustainable way. And the opportunities are already there, but am I perceiving them? So ask yourself that. Release that resistance. That's the invitation here. I like it. It's like a little story unfolding here. Looking at the bottom of the deck, there's the Knight of Wands, curiosity also. We spoke about that in the Instagram reel, no? Can you lean into curiosity? Changing that old paradigm of thinking within the box, going beyond the box. That's another question we can ask. Well, we can ask, be a bit more specific and ask, what is the nature of the opportunities that are ready, waiting for you to be perceived? Is that correct English? Waiting for you to perceive them. What is the nature of these opportunities? Like, what kind of opportunities are there for you to seize and step into? Let's see. Wow. Okay. We got 3 cards. 3 cards that fell out. The Tower. Tower is a major arcana. And the Tower comes in when we are in resistance. The Tower, the lightning strikes when our way of being, our state of consciousness has calcified in such a way that we've become too rigid. New consciousness comes in and forces that evolution on us. It's not always pleasant. It's rarely pleasant, but it's necessary. So linking back to the 4 of Cups, because the universe is on your side, because the universe wants you to succeed, expand, be full of prosperity, claim your prosperity and abundance, it might have to send you a tower if you're in too much resistance. Yeah. So the opportunity, we spoke about opportunity. The opportunity again is twofold here. Yes, this is a highlight, no? So underliner, saying that you have to release the resistance. Otherwise, if you continue as you've been going, I gotta pull the rug from under your feet, and the tower's gotta come down so that you are actually able to expand into your highest timeline. That's one interpretation. The other way here I'm sensing is to do with opportunities. The opportunity that is coming in is precisely asking you to come from a different paradigm. So here the Tower means that it's asking you, the universe, life is asking you to make such a change in your consciousness that it feels like a tower. It feels a little bit like an ego death, which is necessary for you to operate in a different way. So if something drastic is happening in your life, if there's an outer circumstance, whether it's a job loss, the end of a relationship, something unexpected, an accident, if that is happening for you, it's not pleasant. It never is. But can you, even in the discomfort, be in certainty that it's all happening for you and not to you? Can you try and really lean into that trust that the universe is maybe forcefully asking you to step into a new consciousness by releasing, helping you forcefully to release anything and anyone that no longer aligns, whether it's your mindset, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job that no longer aligns with your soul's purpose. Trust that this tower is working for you. And speaking about passion, the Queen of Wands is all about passion. So our question was opportunity. The opportunity, very much linked to the tower, is to trust your passion. You know, your highest expression is authenticity. And your authentic self is linked to your unique gifts, your unique way of seeing the world, your unique being. Imagine a kaleidoscope. So we've got source filtering through that kaleidoscope, but each one of us, we are a different pattern of a kaleidoscope. So when you look into the kaleidoscope and you see the light hits it and you see all these different patterns, you are a unique kaleidoscope. So the light is filtering in a unique way through you, through your passions, through your heart's desires. And because the universe, life, wants you to succeed, it is pushing you to embrace those passions and to live and embody those passions. So ask yourself, what is really calling you? What is that passion project, that decision that you've been maybe delaying or procrastinating on because of fears, because it feels safer to be in your smaller self? This is where shadow work comes in again. Sitting with your fears, sitting with those aspects of you that are in resistance of expansion. Can you create such capacity, inner capacity, so that you're anchored in your authenticity and can soothe your fears and say, you know what, we're not staying small anymore. I'm here to be the fullest expression of myself. I'm seizing the Queen of Wands passion energy. That's the opportunity. And to do with loss, so let's say the tower struck. There's a tendency to look at what had to leave. We have a tendency to look at what we need to release as a loss. And the grieving can be real. The feeling of loss can be real. However, the universe is inviting you again to not just focus on what looks like a loss, but to shift your perspective, just slightly. Shifting perspective only takes a few angles to realize passion is still calling. See, it's all here linked with the cups from the beginning up to here. The opportunity really is for you to ease into a new paradigm, a new way of doing things that doesn't come from a state of lack, from a state of scarcity. Because often our state of our feeling of scarcity drives us, it expresses itself in overworking, in overgiving, in people pleasing, in doing what you think you should do rather than what you really want to do. The universe wants you to embrace your authenticity. So again, are you releasing the resistance? Beware of the tower. And if the tower strikes, feel those feelings, feel the grief, but also remember that the universe is working for you, through you, and for you, and wants you to succeed. Yeah, this is an opportunity. That is the opportunity of this full moon. And as a closing question, I'd like to ask, what does your soul want you to know? Your higher self. What does your higher self want you to know? Let's see. Gardeners are picking up some Some trash by the neighbors. Not sure if you can hear that. Let's see, what does your soul, your higher self, want you to know through this full moon energy, strawberry full moon? What is that message? King of Swords. The King of Swords has to do with discernment. The King of Swords can be quite cutting, but at its essence, the King of Swords is about truth and about alignment. So if we put our little story here together, it makes complete sense. If the universe wants you to succeed and be in your most authentic expression, then yes, some discernment needs to be applied. Where are you leaking energy? Where are you emotionally entangled in situations that actually drain you? It could be in your workplace, it could be romantic relationships. It's tough. I know it's tough to create boundaries, especially if you're a people pleaser, because then you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. But think about you also. You are worthy of being in alignment. In order for you to be in your highest expression, anything that does not align with that true expression needs to be released. And this is where you can call upon your inner King of Swords. You can connect with this aspect inside of you. You can meditate, take 3 deep breaths, and literally set the intention. My inner King of Swords, what advice do you have for me? What is it that I need to be clearer on in terms of boundaries, in terms of direction, in terms of structure, so that my energy is aligned, my prana is accessible for me to fulfill my soul's purpose. And remember, your soul's purpose has to do with your happiness and your deeper fulfillment. And boundaries are necessary within yourself. So that can play out as in maybe more discipline. Discipline not in a punitive sense, but in a loving sense, a container sense. Where could your daily routine benefit from a little bit more structure so that your focus and your energy can align and flow into that which you really want to do? Those are most important soul-aligned projects. You need the King of Swords here. The King of Swords will also help you to discern and to be in touch with your own inner truth. Nobody can really tell you what is true for you. You need to connect with that, and you need to express that. Just be careful that in your delivery, whether it's boundaries or even in your self-talk, that you don't go into the extreme and be cruel or ruthless with others in your communication or with yourself. He's a King of Swords, but he is fair, balanced, and compassionate. Clear, honest, but also compassionate. He's not cruel. So connect with that energy and see where can you benefit from some more boundaries, from some more structure, from some more discipline, and maybe for some more direction. Direction can't be forced, but if it has to do with procrastination, you kind of feel, you feel where your passion is, but you're not creating that decision, you're not making that decision to go after your passion because of limiting beliefs, then the King of Swords can push you forward also, can say enough. I'm trusting my soul, I'm trusting what I feel is true, and I'm going for it. Why? Because I deserve it, because I'm worthy of that. So at its essence, it has to do with worthiness. You're worthy of living and embodying that most authentic, fulfilled, prosperous version of yourself. Because by doing that, not only are you benefiting yourself, you're benefiting every one of us. Through inspiring us by being your true self, through your passion, Imagine like a little match, you know, one match lights and it ignites all these other matches. That's how powerful your authentic expression is. So lots to ponder on with this full moon. You can rewind and listen to some parts again. I encourage you to journal, to reflect, and let these messages simmer. You know, often we force clarity, we force answers. Allow yourself to reflect on what we just went through, what we just uncovered, and have that relationship, that dialogue with yourself. Become your own best friend in that sense. And remember, all these different aspects, the King of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cups inspiration, are aspects you can tap into, energies you can tap into. Okay? So I hope this was useful. Let me know. I'm always happy for some comments. And know that I'm going to continue posting this video. Subscribe to my channel. And if you want a private reading, the link to my website is in the description box below. I wish you a full moon with ease, discernment, and clarity. It's my wish for you. Sat Nam.